Let's solve further questions on the chain rule. So if the trigonometric functions are given in the form of composite functions, then how you can apply the formulas. So let's see here. Let's try to understand that if we have been given sine, okay, and after the sine some equation is written, means the angle, basic angle x is not written but other than x is written, so which they are representing by means of the u. So if sine u is given, so what you have to do, take the derivative. Now understand that here there is no power given. So there is a trigonometric function and along with the angle. So remember, if the power is not mentioned, so always the angle will be your inner function, and the trigonometric value, sine, cosine, tangent, secant, cosecant, cot, tangent, anything will be your outer function. So in this case, we are going to apply the chain rule. Okay. Now, how do we apply? First, take the derivative of the outer function. So we know that sine changes into cosine, right? And then we write the inner function, means the angle, as it is, because sine, cosine, tangent cannot be written alone without the angle. After that, you have to take the derivative of inner function. And what is our inner function? It is the angle. So this is how you have to use these formulas. Try to understand these concepts with the help of some examples. So sine 6x, there is no power given to you. So which means that this sine is your outer function and 6x is your inner function. Now take the derivative. So you know that the derivative of sine is cosine, right? But we cannot write the cosine as it is, for which we have to write the angle. That means write the angle or the inner function as it is. Now take the derivative of the inner function. So write down the 6x with prime. Now wherever we don't have any kind of the prime, we write it as it is. And we know that the derivative of 6x is 6. Now you can leave the answer over here, but it would be suggested to write it in a proper way, which I explained in the previous video, that first of all it is better to write the sign, then the number, then the variable if there is any, and then after that the sine, cosine, it means the trigonometric value, and in the end angle. So this is the way to express our sine, cosine functions. So here it is a number, so of course the number should be written in the start. So it will gives you 6 cosine 6x. Next question, same concept, but first of all find out what is your inner and the outer functions. So cosine is your outer function since we don't have any power, and this angle 2x is our inner function. Now take the derivative of the outer function. So cosine changes into negative sine. We can't write the sine or cosine separately, so we have to write the inner function as it is. Then one more time we write the inner function with the prime. It means take the derivative of the inner function. So basically the idea is the derivative of outer function times the derivative of inner function. So we will write minus sine 2x as it is, and the derivative of 2x, constant multiple rule, it gives you 2. Arrange it. In the arrangement, we write the sign first, then we write the number, then we write the trigonometric value. Okay, what will happen if this is written? Now this power 2, you can see it's only on the angle, not overall. So try to understand writing. Like if cosine square x is written, this means that the cosine x has the whole power 2. But over here, only the angle has power 2. So if here in this case, in this one, this cosine square x, the power 2 is the outer function and cosine x is the inner function. So in this case, we already have studied. Let's try to differentiate these two questions. Bring the power, apply the power rule, bring the 2 in the shoulder to take the derivative. Write the inner function as it is. From the power we always subtract 1, and after that we write the inner function, that is cosine x, with the prime. So we will get 2 cosine x, and the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. Arrange it, which means that bring the negative in the beginning, then write the 2, then the cosine and sine functions. Now what is happening over here when the question is y equals to cosine x square? Now it is cleared that square is only on the angle. It means that cosine is our outer function and x square is our inner function. Take the derivative. So the outer function changes into negative sign. Write the inner function as it is one time and again write the inner function with the prime. Now write negative sine x square as it is, and the derivative of x square is 2x. Arrange it. So first of all we write the sign, then the number, then the variable, and then the sine and cosine functions. Remember that this x square cannot be multiplied by this 2x. Why? The reason is that this x square is the angle and this 2x is a number and a variable. It is a value of a number and variable. Okay, now let's try to solve this question y prime. First of all, understand that what is the derivative of secant u. U is what? Inner function, and secant is what? Outer function. So the derivative of secant u is secant u, tan u, and then the inner function with the derivative. Now here the inner function is our 2x, which means you can say that this u is actually 2x. So secant 2x, we will write what? How do? We can write, look here, I am trying to explain you formula secant u, tangent u, and u prime. Now u means what? U means the inner function, right? So inner function is 2x. So it is u means 2x. Here u again, so it is 2x. And here u again, it means 2x with prime. So what we will do? It will gives us secant 2x, tangent 2x, and the derivative of 2x is 2. So I am writing in the start. Okay, again here the formula for the cosecant 4x. So cosecant is the outer function and 4x is the inner function. So formula is cosecant u. Formula is cosecant u, cot u, and then u prime. So let's try to write the formula of the derivative. What? Cosecant u, cot u, and then u prime. Now what is your u? U is the inner function, which means 4x. So let's try to write this as a 4x. So in place of u, I am writing 4x. In place of this u, also I am writing 4x. And in place of this u, I am writing 4x with prime. So let's see what I can write. Cosecant 4x, cotangent 4x, and derivative of 4x is 4. So rather than writing here, I can write it in the beginning. Sorry, there is a negative here. In the formula of the cosecant is negative cosecant u cot u prime. So this is my mistake which I found out and I wrote the minus before it. Okay, so next question. Let's suppose what will happen if we will have cosine square 8x. What will happen in this case? Understand, whenever there is a power on the sine, on the cosine, on the tangent, it means the whole function has a power. So it is cosine 8x. Now why it is a chain rule? Because one after the other we have to take the derivative. Don't skip any step if you want to understand. Okay, circle the outer function. This is always I tell you, circle the outer function. So outer function is 2. So if the power is the outer function, it means we are going to apply the power rule. What does power rule says? Power rule says, and here is the inner function. Power rule says bring the power before the function. Write the inner function as it is and from the power subtract 1, and after this is what? This is the derivative of the outer function. Multiply it with the derivative of the inner function. So what is inner function? It's not only 8x. This whole bracket thing is our inner function. So write down cosine 8x with the prime. Okay, now the outer function derivative we already have taken. So we will copy down. Now here again cosine 8x is the composite function. Why? In this function again this is your outer function and 8x is our inner function. So again we will apply the formula. So cos changes into what? Negative sine. Write the inner function as it is and again write the inner function with prime. Now complete it. Wherever we don't have the prime, we will write as it is. This negative can come in the start. Okay. Now the derivative of 8x is 8. Now 8 is a number. This 2 is a number. So we can multiply these two numbers. So negative 8 times 2 is 16 and the rest as it is. Angles and angles cannot be multiplied and cannot be separated with the sine and cosine functions. Try to understand one more question. Let's see here. But before that one, let me change the question sine cube 2x. This is my question. So how can we solve this question sine cube dx? First write it in the proper way to make sure that I understand the question properly. So where is the outer function? Circle. Circle outer function is the power. Apply the power rule. So take the derivative applying the power rule. Bring the power in the start. Write the inner function sine 2x as it is. From the power we subtract 1. So 3 minus 1 is 2. Now write the inner function. So see sine 2x, the whole thing is the inner function. Write as it is without the power and put a prime here. Now we don't have 3 sine 2x whole square. So this square can be written on the sine. Okay, now here sine 2x. So in which sine is the outer function and this 2x angle is the inner function. Okay, now sine is our outer function, right? Circle it. Sine changes into what? Minus cosine. One time we write the inner function as it is and one time we write the inner function with the prime. Now complete it. This negative will comes in the start because they are multiplying. So negative 3 sine square 2x cosine 2x. And the derivative of 2x is 2. Now multiply 3 times 2. It will give us 6. Sine is square 2x and cosine 2x. Okay, I have one more question. F of x equals to tangent x square minus 1. Okay, what is your inner and what is your outer function? So this tangent, there is no power here on the tan or on the tangent. So no power rule. So it is a direct rule. Tangent is our outer function and x square minus 1 is our inner function. So take the derivative of the outer function. So remember the derivative of tangent is secant square. So remember tangent u, formula is secant square u and then u prime. Okay, I am writing this to understand. Secant square u and then u prime. So what is my u? U means the inner function, right? U means the inner function. So in my case, inner function is x square minus 1. So just replace the u by x square minus 1 here and x square minus 1 here. So secant square x square minus 1 we will write as it is. And here we have a prime. So derivative of x square is 2x and negative 1 derivative is 0. Now just arrange it. Write the number and the variable in the beginning of the trigonometric value. So it is 2x secant square x square minus 1. Now let's try to do another question. Erase all the ink. Okay, let's try another questions here. So cosine x plus 1, what is the outer function? Let me help you out and the rest you will do it, okay? So here cosine is our outer function and x plus 1 is our inner function. So formula is of the cosine u is sine u, u prime, and what is your u? U is the x plus 1. Replace and take the derivative. So derivative of tangent is secant square u and u prime. So your u is 5x plus 1. Okay, over here y equals to cosecant of 3x plus 1. So formula of cosecant is negative cosecant u cot u and then u prime. So your u is 3x plus 1. So replace all the u with the 3x plus 1. So in that case you will get negative cosecant 3x plus 1, cotangent 3x plus 1 and then 3x plus 1 with prime. And we know that the derivative of 3x plus 1 is 3. That is, just arrange that and that would be your answer. So similarly, the derivative of secant u is secant u, tangent u and u prime. So we will get it as secant u is what? 4x plus 1. Tangent u means 4x plus 1 and u prime means the derivative of 4x plus 1, which is 4. So I hope that this idea is understood to you. Now try to solve your questions at your own, and if there is any difficulty, write it in the comment box.